Hey guys, so I'm pumped to announce that we're offering a 7-day free trial at CogornoGolf.com. Now it's going to be only for the month of November, so it is a limited time, but a 7-day free trial. Now, what does this mean for you? You can go to CogornoGolf.com, sign up, send in your swings. I'm going to personally, build you a practice plan. I'm going to do the swing analysis, tell you what priorities to work on, what drills to do, and how to monitor your progress. Now, what's the catch with all of this? There is no catch. If you go on there and do it, you don't like it, or just don't want to become a member, you still get a free swing analysis. Just cancel within the 7 days. You're never charged anything, and no harm, no foul. You know what to work on anyway. Now, if you do like it, you can stay with us. Become a member. We're going to work together. I'm telling you, if you want to take your game to the next level, play better golf next year, we can do that there, and it's risk-free. If you don't like it, you get a swing analysis for free. I mean, how much better could we make a deal than that? I would really love to work with you. I'm super excited to be able to do this. I've wanted to do this for a long time, and we're finally able to put it in place. Head over to CogornoGolf.com, sign up, send me your swings. I will build you a practice plan, and we can work together, really take your game to the next level. We'd love to see you there. Hey guys, Eric here outside at the Bethlehem Golf Club. In today's video, we're going to talk about one simple feel that I'd like you to try to fix your early extension for good. Now, early extension, one simple feel. Now, we made a video probably last year, might have been the year before that, had a very similar title to this that was about fixing early extension. And that came from both my own experience, a feel that I used with my early extension, and a feel that I use with a lot of my students. And what that video was about was trying to get the belt buckle into your follow through, getting that pointed to left of the target as soon as humanly possible. So what I said was, hey, if the target line's 12 o'clock, imagine 11 o'clock. You're trying to get your belt buckle turned towards and pushed forward at the 11 o'clock as soon as humanly possible. And that is a good feel and that works great. But as with any feels, nothing typically is universal. What feels great for one person, someone else needs a different feel, right? You need 10 different ways to fix the same problem. And another way to fix the early extension problem I've found has again to do with the hips and the belt buckle. Now this time there's two specific movements that I want you to try here. If you've been struggling with early extension, want more rotation, maintain your body angles, etc. Two things with the hips. Number one is if I early extend during my downswing, my belt buckle starts to point up towards the camera or the sky, and it moves up towards the sky. Those are like two of the main motions. It moves up towards the sky, and my belt buckle starts to point up towards the sky. And so how do you fix a problem? You always do the opposite and you exaggerate. So if my belt buckle normally goes up too high, I need to feel that it moves down in transition. If my belt buckle normally points up too high, I need to feel like it points down in transition. So one of the things that I've had a lot of success with players on to fix early extension who can't get open at impact are these two sensations, where the belt buckle quite literally from the top of the swing lowers towards the ground and the belt buckle points down towards the golf ball or the ground. And I'm increasing both of those things in transition as I start the downswing. So the exaggerated version would be this. I go up to the top of the backswing. As I start down, I'm gonna try and get my belt buckle feeling like it's gonna literally touch the ground. Now, how do I get my belt buckle lower? What's actually in control of that? Well, my knees, right? My legs changing flex. So when I bend my legs, my belt buckle gets lower. When I straighten my legs, my belt buckle gets higher. If you drew a line across my belt buckle at my setup position, I would want that belt buckle to be fairly high at setup, right? So my hips are fairly high. I don't have a ridiculous amount of knee bend. My quads are pretty high, and my belt buckle is just slightly tilted down. Now, at the top, that's gonna stay pretty high, but there's gonna be some tilt. But in that transition phase, tilt meaning this way, but it hasn't like lowered, right? It stayed basically the same level, same height, but there's tilt. As I start down, I wanna feel my belt buckle lower. If you do that, those knees changing flex or legs changing flex should happen as a natural reaction to that. Now, as I do that though, I also wanna feel like my belt buckle points down. So it's belt buckle quite literally lowering and it's pointing down. And I'm gonna combine those two movements. So let's start here with this one first. Up to the top, belt buckle lowers and points down towards the ground. Now you see how much my legs are bending? I'm not feeling like I'm bending them at all. All that I'm thinking about is literally make this line that my hips are on, get as close to the ground as I can in transition. Now that's really the first part of it. Let's just hit with that first, and I want you to try that as well. So belt buckle lowers and points down. And as with anything, if you normally go the opposite way, you know, like I used to record myself with early extension, I draw a line on my head. My normal swing, my head would work above the line really early. So I felt like my head went down 3 feet probably. And when I recorded myself, my head literally just stayed the same height. It didn't go down at all, but it didn't go up anymore. And I was okay with that. I knew I had to feel 3 feet lower to stay the same height. This is the same for this. I might not have looked like I lowered there at all. Felt like I lowered 2 feet, but that's what you're gonna have to probably get when you do this and record yourself, is your belt buckle is gonna feel like it's gonna be pointed way down, and your hips are gonna feel way down, and you probably will just maintain the same level, right? So let's go ahead and do that one more time. Belt buckle is down towards the ground, and it's tilted down. So if I had a little laser in there, that's pointed down. Belt buckle down towards the ground and pointed down. And if you do that and record yourself, I bet both of those feels. A, you hit the ball better, you see more rotation, and you'll see less early extension. Now, of course, as I'm doing this, I'm not going belt buckle straight down, belt buckle point down with no rotation, right? Of course, I'm not doing that with no rotation. So in reality, when I'm doing this, I still down, pointed down, I'm still feeling my rib cage, my pelvis and all that opening as I'm going. Now that might be too much for you to do at one time. Just try the belt buckle going down towards the ground, record it. Then try the belt buckle going down and pointed down. And then add in the turn piece if you need to. But in reality, I'm feeling that belt buckle down, pointed down, and opening at the same rate. And this again, right, this is for those of you, yeah, it feels really good for me. This is for those of you that have too much early extension, not enough rotation. If you're someone who has a bunch of rotation but hangs back, swings over and hits pulls and fades, you don't want to do more of this. You need to learn how to push your hips up and forward. That's a different pattern, right? This is specifically for those with too much early extension or too much slide. The only little other caveat that I want you to be aware of as you're doing this, belt buckle down, pointed down, and opening. Belt buckle down, pointed down, and opening. Yeah, good. So the only other caveat I'd want you to think about, like we did a matching arms and body video, which is if I say to you, right, feel like you go down 3 feet, you're gonna literally just maintain height, which means you're probably 1 inch lower than normal. So if you got yourself closer to the ground 1 inch, even though it feels like 3 feet, you're gonna probably need to have to shorten something else to kind of match that up. Which means if I get closer to the ground, quite literally, I'm either gonna need to feel like my right arm's a little more bent, or my right wrist or trail wrist is a little bit more bent to pair that up. Anytime you go lower, you have to shorten a different segment, shortening it with the right wrist more bent back, or shortening with the right arm more bent can be something you can do with that. So just keep that in mind. You might have to feel the right arm a little more bent through impact. Belt buckle down and pointed down. Yeah, and keep that right arm a little bit more bent and passive. So if you have early extension, we're gonna link at the end of this video to that video that I referenced, which was the belt buckle pushing to 11 o'clock. That may be as simple as it needs to get for you. Or try this one, the lowering, the tilting forward and open. Hopefully that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you like the video and you want to support our channel, do us a favor. The more action we get here, the better off we are. The more YouTube likes that video, sends our video out to more people so we can help more people. So if you can smash that like button down below, leave a comment what you thought about the video, maybe another video you'd like to see. Click the subscribe button if you haven't. We would really appreciate that. We're going to put a card on the screen here for a similar YouTube style video. If you'd like to watch that, that'll be on the screen. If you want to get your swing analyzed from me and work with us, we'll put the logo for Cogorno Golf. You could click that. We'll see you there.